Hello, race fans. You are looking live at the Pikes Peak International Raceway. We are just making final preparations for race 3 of the Rothmans World Series. It is the Motorola 225 here at Pikes Peak. But first, let's get you caught up on what happened 2 weeks ago at Auto Club, centering around, first off, the driver of the number 6 car, Matthew Hubert.
Of course, Matthew Hubert was the race winner last time out. Actually, a winner on debut. Pretty impressive with the 6 car. Also, completely brand new team. Brand new in quotation marks. But both of Rowdy Motorsports' cars are in the show this week. Actually starting right behind each other. Completely fitting. Another thing that happened last week, of course, was Alexander Rowe blowing up, which brought out no caution whatsoever. RWS officials said that Rowe's car was in a safe enough spot to not bring out the caution. Racing was allowed to continue. Very touch and go. A lot of drivers, a lot of fans. Of course, I myself in the booth were pretty skeptical of that call, but RWS officials said it was safe. Everything turned out fine. So we are looking forward for a race here today.
And so, as you've probably seen from the shots we've been showing, the cars do look a little bit different as well. We're running our high downforce package with these RWS cars for the first time this season. Though you'll see them at all of the short ovals and road courses that we head to later this season. So we'll see them again next race at Road America, our first road course of the season. And it was Mercedes that actually looked very quick with this package. Jeffrey Finguy, of course, on the pole for Turismo Motorsports. His team owner, Tina Curtis, inside the top 5. And then it's Daniel Voiles and Flandre Wilson making up an entirely Mercedes Row 2, meaning 4 of the top 5 are Mercedes, and then the ever-present Luke Evans with his Honda. But definitely a good weekend for the three-pointed star. But a not-so-great weekend for some teams who are going to be at the back after some qualifying infringements.
Yeah, some inspection failures for a couple of Hondas, the 94 Volunteer Motorsports car of Denis Kudryashov and the 69 of Ricky LaFleur. Just an absolutely disastrous weekend for Ricky LaFleur Racing and the Repsol Honda team. The 26 car will roll off 28th, and one of their cars failed to make the show, that being the 27 of Brandon Smith. So it'll be interesting to see what these drivers can do from the back of the field at such an action-packed racetrack.
Yeah, definitely. And on that D&Q list, you have some other heavy hitters. Theo Splitzer, I think, definitely one of the more notable ones for what has kind of become the flagship Toyota team, being SWR Team Lotus. 2 of the Anderson Jr. Enterprises cars also failed to make the race, those being team owner Hallie Anderson Jr. and Levi Pren. Aiden Martin being the only one to make it, and Dustin Struve's pre-qualifying woes continued as he made it 2 D&Qs in a row after failing to make Auto Club as well. Well, that'll wrap it up for our pre-race coverage here ahead of the Motorola 225, and we will bring you trackside for the remainder of pre-race ceremonies, and then we'll bring it back here for the starting grid.
Here to perform our national anthem, please welcome the 82nd Airborne All-American Chorus.
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare upon in the air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er
Force Command. General? Drivers, start your engines!
Starting the race from row 15, Denis Kudryashov and Ricky LaFleur. Starting the race from row 14, Logan Cloud in the Crossroads Racing Chevy and Renato Moreno in that Repsol Honda RLR machine. Starting the race from row 13, Charlie Davenport in the Davenport Performance Racing car and Alexander Rowe in the number 48 Fallout Racing machine. Starting the race from row 12, Aiden Martin in the Amtrak car for Anderson Jr. Enterprises and Zayden Davidson in the Camel Team Clark Mercedes. And starting the race from row 11, David Richardson in the Raising Cane's Honda and Peter Onjak in the Jim Beam Honda for Onjato.
Breaking into the top 20 now, Jamie Fredrickson in the Revolution Racing 00 alongside Austin Rogers in the number 44. Row 9 will see Rose Wilson in her underfunded entry alongside Scoria Torin coming back after DNQing at Fontana. Row 8 sees Homestead and debut winner Juan Diaz alongside Gordon Petrovic in the number 76. Row 7 is Luna Bennington rolling off in 14th alongside Devin Pice in the number 8 who will start in 13th. Finally, row number 6, last two cars outside the top 10, Rowdy Green comes back from also DNQing alongside Cameron Brennan, the sole SWR Team Lotus car in the field.
10 now, rolling off 10th is last winner on debut Matthew Hubert, looking to repeat alongside Zachary Fitzwater Sr., who's shown very strong pace so far this season. Row 4 is going to see Xander Valen, his first top 10 qualifying effort of the season, lining up alongside Zachary DeLello, all Hondas on row 4. Row 3 is going to see James Ellison, who nearly won at Homestead, lining up alongside Tina Curtis, the first of 4 Mercedes in the top 5. Row 2 now, it's all Mercedes on this row with Flandre Wilson to the outside of Daniel Boyles. And on the front row, Luke Evans, ever present in this top 5, he qualifies an outside pole, and it is the man from Belleville, Michigan in the Budweiser Mercedes for Turismo Autosports, Jeffrey Finguy, takes the pole for the Motorola 225. As the cars roll onto the back straight here at Pikes Peak, we just saw your grid sequence. So Jeffrey Finguy, Luke Evans, Daniel Voiles, Flandre Wilson, and Tina Curtis will be your top 5 here, as we have 57 laps ahead of us here at Pikes Peak. This should be a quick one, but a potentially chaotic one as well. These cars will get very racy once the tires begin to wear. And here we go. Pace car has pulled off, the green flag in hand, and we are racing here at Pikes Peak. Off turn 2 for the first time, still side by side, 3 wide further back in the field, and now 3 wide up here is Flandre Wilson going to get put 3 with Ellison and DeLello leading lap 1. It is going to be Jeffrey Finguy out front so far.
Finguy leads lap number 1. That 3 wide battle in the back is kind of risky. There's really only 2 viable driving lanes. Flandre Wilson trying to find a way to get shuffled back down to 2 pretty hard. Ellison and Hubert to her inside, almost contact. We're not even on a big track and we're still pack racing. 3 wide, 2 rows deep. Brennan might make it 4 into 1.
And coming into 1 is very chaotic as Cameron Brennan swings low. They're going 4 wide just behind him as they're just jostling all over for position. They're still 4 wide headed into 3.
And they are very tight together, wheels connecting, wings connecting, and somehow we haven't wrecked these cars yet, as now we got a battle for the lead up at the front. Voiles to the inside of Jeffrey Finguy for the lead. As we come off of 2, the 62 going to try to get the advantage. It looks like we've gotten it sorted back down to 3 wide in the back. But the 2 Mercedes here out front continues the battle, and it's Voiles going to be clear to the point.
Voiles just barely clear of Finn Guy's number 92. It's car 62 and car 92 leading the charge. Of course, Luke Evans, ever present in the front part of this pack, keeping it in third. Tina Curtis, what a impressive drive for her after missing the show at Homestead. Seems to finally be finding her stride with these higher downforce cars.
And up at the front, they're kind of in a single file line. They're still a little bit packed up at the back, but up front seems they're running calm, and 46 gets out of line a little. They're going for the lead again here. Finn Guy wants it back.
And into 3, Finn Guy going to try to send it down the inside of Voiles. Luke Evans just waiting in the wings, lurking. If anything happens to these 2 leaders, he's going to be the one to pounce. But the 92 is going to try to make the move into turn 1. Can't quite make it happen, actually, but he's going to get a better run through 2, and off of the corner he should have the run toward 3. Inside line is going to be preferred, as further in the back we sorted it back down, it looks like, to 2 wide. So after a bit of a chaotic start, things are starting to calm down. But Finn Guy's still unable to clear off of 4, and I think Luke Evans might start be looking in. As we have smoke, we've missed something, but there's been no caution for whatever it was. Someone's had an incident.
Don't know where that smoke's coming from.
Oh,
Voiles.
Jamie Fredrickson.
Oh,
It might be
guess it's
from the 00.
I would assume it'd be from the 00, given the fact that he's on pit road as Finn Guy finally gets clear. Honestly, impressive. Voiles was able to hold it around the outside for 2, almost 3 laps there. Inside line is most definitely preferred. It does burn your stuff off more, but you just can't seem to get the drive off the top as Voiles just throws it into 3. Wasn't really looking to the inside of Finn Guy, but almost completely blew the corner, and now Luke Evans has a run for second.
Single file up here, and just a shame for Jamie Fredrickson. Had a great qualifying run, got himself into the top 20, and it looks like a bit of an early end for that 00 car.
As Finn Guy continuing to set the pace here, the 00's dropped 2 laps down at least. I think it's just going to be a matter to see if they can get that car back out and running, just lock some laps, hope that some other problems happen, but we've mostly single filed out all the way back to really the likes of Petrovic's car down pit road, Juan Diaz. Lap 11, this is pretty early, so I don't think that's service, so maybe some problems for the points leader, which would be very big here this early on.
Entirely possible. As you said, lap 11's way too early. We're looking towards lap 30 to lap 35 when cars come down pit road, so we're about 20 laps away from that. Something I noticed that I want to point out, Flandre Wilson rolled off in the top 5, and that 23 car is buried deep in the pack. Might even be running outside the top 15. Indeed, it is 17th. Don't know what's going on with the A3 Scarlet entry, but the car is just dropping back like a rock.
It seems ever since the start of that race, when they got taken 3 wide, it's just been falling ever since. So a really tough break for that team, falling all the way back into the 17th position early on. But still a lot of time to make up positions. We got a battle just in front of them for position.
As there's also some battling going on inside the top 10, this single file pack is starting to break up just a little bit, as that's Roddy Green and Rose Wilson finally trying to find their way around Zachary Fitzwater Sr. and Zachary DeLello, the 2 Zacharys on the grid, nearly 3 wide there between Wilson, DeLello, and Fitzwater. That was a bit dicey, but they'll keep it 2 wide, and this battle will continue into 3 and 4. So it definitely looks like that passing is coming at a premium. We can get to the inside of a car, but it's going to take you at least a lap to actually build up the run, build up the momentum to clear them. So that'll definitely be something to watch, especially as these drivers start to get more impatient as the tires wear.
Something very intriguing that I noticed there in the 1 the lap prior, DeLello missed turn 1 a little bit, opened up the wheel, was running about a half a groove higher than that second lane, but seemed to carry the momentum off of turn 2. They're still side by side. Finally, Rowdy Green starting to get the nose ahead of the 13, but DeLello was able to get a run off the top. I don't know if there's a little bit more grip out there than we honestly think, but still, you would prefer to be on the inside. We're coming to 40 laps to go. I believe Finn Guy just hit the line to cross over onto lap 18. That he did. You got to start thinking about track position and strategy at this point. Sure, we're only 17 laps into this race, but it is a sprint in comparison to how long the rest of the season has been. And truthfully, now is about the time you start thinking we're almost halfway through the tire run.
Yeah, definitely. These tires, they like to wear pretty quick and could cause some issues. Would like to point out the 7 of Charlie Davenport is up pretty well through this field. He started in the 25th position. He's made up a lot of ground so far.
Yeah, the Davenport performance cars have seemed to be really locked hip to hip. Whether it be qualifying practice or the race, these two cars always seem to find similar speed on the track, and honestly, I think that's a big sigh of relief for team owner Charlie Davenport, who qualified well off his teammate, as you said, but the 7 is definitely looking pretty good in race trim, as there's a move for position as Matthew Hubert. The 6 doesn't quite look to have the pace under it, as Logan Cloud moving his way through the field as well. But back up at the front, it has remained pretty stationary. Daniel Voiles has stayed right on the back of the 92 of Finn Guy, but just hasn't been able to make a move, or maybe isn't trying to make a move, but he's going to maybe make a move here, as he's going to send it into 3, send the 92 wide, and I think that's going to be Voiles to the lead, as the 92 lost a lot of momentum.
Finn Guy absolutely missed turn number 3 there. Maybe got caught out by surprise from Voiles there. Daniel Voiles back to the race lead. Those two cars have been the only 2 leaders all day. Something interesting, I saw Luke Evans was trying to run about half a lane higher right before we went into turn 3. Is there's something wrong with the handling of the 92, just can't seem to hold the bottom anymore. I don't think it's damaged. They've had clean air for most of the race, but something is horribly wrong with the handling of Finn Guy's number 92.
Yeah, he's fallen off the pace significantly back into 3rd. Luke Evans finally gets back into 2nd for the first time all day. But, we're coming up to that lap 30, and, these tires getting pretty worn down, as we do have a couple retirements. The 51 of Juan Diaz retired with a suspension issue, and the 00 Jamie Fredrickson retired from damage from his crash.
So yeah, I think we're going to try to get a replay if we get a break in some point, whether it be a caution or I guess at the end of the race, for the incident with Jamie Fredrickson, because obviously that 00 is going no further in this one. Juan Diaz, that's a huge blow early on this season. It's a short calendar, only 15 races, so every race is going to count, and for the points leader having that suspension failure and subsequently 29th place finish, that is not going to be good come Texas.
No, it will not, but again, 15 races is short in some regards, long in some regards, just depends on how you look at that look at the schedule. Definitely not going to be coming out of here with the points lead anymore, as the 62 seems to be pulling away from the rest of the field. And I do believe we have a battle for 5th that we do. Torrin and Brennan are going at it right now, as both Rowdy Green and Rose Wilson might have a play in the fight here as we're getting closer towards pit stops.
And a really great run for that 81 for the SWR Team Lotus program, and obviously it sucks that the 18 missed the race, but the 81 putting on a pretty good show is a bit of a consolation prize in the 6th position.
Ran a bit wide in the dirty air of Torrin and is going to lose a bit of ground. Rowdy Green had a slight peak there at the 81, thought better of it, as once again looks like the field is single filed out. Matthew Hubert's got a big train behind him, as Dennis Kudryashov in the 94 started on the last row of the grid. He's torn his way through the field. He is well inside the top 20, 17th, as he's now working on team owner Austin Rogers maybe for 16th. But yeah, field has once again single filed out. And actually looking here, that's a sorry sight for Anderson Junior Enterprises. That's the 93 of Aiden Martin, their lone car in the field, running actually a bit off the pace. I don't know if he maybe got damaged, maybe he tangled with Fredrickson, but the 93 running last of the cars on the track right now.
Yeah, trying to take a look on that camera shot, I don't see much damage on the 93, but again, Anderson Junior Enterprises cars, 2 of them missed the field. The 93 didn't qualify that well. Entirely possible that they just missed the setup. Speaking of missing things, a lot of these cars are missing the bottom of the track now. So we have a car down pit road, that is Austin Rogers, and I do believe the pit cycle is starting to begin here on lap 31.
Yeah, Austin Rogers down as the first car on pit road. You gotta wonder who's gonna join him. We're coming up fairly quick, and these tires have been wearing fast. You see cars just aren't able to hold the bottom like they used to.
As car down, that's Zachary DeLello. But looks like most everyone is going to stay stubborn. They're going to hold out yet another lap. I mean, they really don't want to sacrifice the on-track position that they have right now, which is that the better move. We'll have to wait and see. It's Luke Evans. Big wobble there, completely missed the entry of 2, and you can tell the tires are wearing, and yeah, here come the leaders. But there's Brennan choosing to stay out, Davenport choosing to stay out as well will Matthew Hubert, as well as Ellison, LaFleur, Rowe, Richardson, and Martin. So some interesting calls to stay out a bit longer as most of the field in. This is race leader Daniel Voiles.
Mass exodus down pit road, almost at least 75% of the field, if not more. Oh, they make contact! DeLello and Voiles.
Like more contact, that's the entire
goodness.
top 3.
The entire top 3 just crashed themselves out. Luke Evans, they're going to have to push the car back. He stalled. This is going to be a long stop. Huge damage done, and this is going to shake up the whole front running order. DeLello has damage.
Torrin is going to win the race off pit road now.
This changes absolutely everything.
Rogers.
Who's that?
That's Austin Rogers who pitted early. DeLello's got damage, so the 13 might be a bit hampered. But Rogers has played a blinder here on strategy. He's going to cycle out, and I believe that means second. But Scoria Torrin's going to hold the lead. Where did the late pitters come out? Brennan is going to lead him off. That is disaster for Luke Evans. And yeah, Torrin is going to inherit the lead. An absolute godsend for the 99 team as the entire top 3 wiped themselves out on pit road.
Brennan may get lucky with the merge here. Looks like he's going to slot in third. Rowdy Green's going to benefit massively out of this. DeLello, the car's not... That car's not in good shape. It's honestly impressive he isn't sinking like a rock right now, but I have a feeling once the tires get up to pressure for all the guys who pitted a lap or 2 laps after, that 13's going to start sinking because that right rear suspension is destroyed.
And just an interesting incident. Not a lot of space for people to go with that incident on pit road. It looks like it took out a very good car in the 40 of Luke Evans and knocked the other 2 well out of contention. There's the 92 of Finn Guy outside the top 10 after that, and the 62 of Voiles just behind.
Oh man. So if not drama on the racetrack, we certainly have drama on pit road, as that sees, both Finn Guy and Voiles, who were battling for the lead, now battling over 13th on track, as DeLello, trying to hold his best in the 13, had the right strategy call, as you see how much Austin Rogers profited off that, but unfortunately got caught up in the crossfires. He's currently doing battle to try to hold 7th from Rose Wilson, but I think it'll only be a matter of time before the 86 moves through. Charlie Davenport, another big benefactor from the pit cycle. He's now going to be, or still trying to hold 5th from Tina Curtis, and he will. So that is a great run going for the 7. Brennan is up to 3rd, as we said, and now Austin Rogers trying to hunt down Scoria Torrin for this lead.
It's honestly intriguing how all three strategies, those who pit that lap early, the main group, and those that stayed out that extra lap, are all clumped together. 1, 2, 3 right now. Not in the order that those pit stops happened. Of course, Torin pitted a lap after Rogers. But this is pretty intriguing to see. Also, mildly ironic that the incident involving car 13 has both drivers involved battling for P13.
And yeah, pretty solid effort for Austin Rogers, who benefited very well after being the first car down. Up in second in the tire tracks of Scoriatorin, trying to catch up and take that lead away. We'll see what he's got in this closing stage here.
Interestingly, both of these cars have recorded at least one D&Q. Torin D&Q'd last week at Auto Club, and it was Rogers who D&Q'd the opening round at Homestead. Cameron Brennan, actually the only car in this top three who's made every race this season. As Rowdy Green also had a D&Q, so make that the top four. But Charlie Davenport trying to do work on the 17. But out front, it is still Scoriatorin as we've rapidly approached 10 to go here at Pikes Peak.
That battle for fourth is going to be heating up because it's car 17, car 7, car 46, kind of ruining the 7 train that we had going. DeLello's somehow managed to keep that car in 8th as Davenport moves up into 4th. Curtis throws it into 3, trying to fit that gap. Green made the right decision and almost gets a crossover move off of 4. I don't think this battle's over with yet.
The 17 fighting hard. Rowdy Green trying to look for a way around Charlie Davenport to get back into that 4th position. As now it looks like Tina Curtis tried to look and gets a little out of whack there coming off of turn 4.
Yeah, and shout out Zachary DeLello. I mean, you can visually see the damage on the right side of that car, but he is actually holding it in 8th. I don't know if Fitzwater's just trying to back up, save his stuff, but that 13 has been able to hold. And Denis Kudrayashov started the last row of the grid after failing tech. He is 11th right now. This is a really great run going for the Volunteer 94 camp, and he might be able to break into the top 10 if he can get by Logan Cloud.
Whatever was with that 94 before failing post-tech, clearly it still works after they managed to get the car through pre-race tech. Up almost 20 spots, honestly pretty impressive at a track where passing really is not easy to do here. Cloud's doing a good job defending, and as I say that, Kudrayashov looks to the inside for 10th. Speaking of 10th, 10 laps to go are in this race, and the 99 is still your race leader.
And Denis Kudrayashov, he breaks into the top 10 with that move on Logan Cloud. And a bit of a small pack behind them kind of formed. Side-by-side action. Matthew Hubert, Jeffrey Finguy battling for position. Xander Valen as well in a battle. He's going to swing to the inside of Finguy.
At 92 doesn't look like it's handling quite as fresh as it was in the first stint. I'd imagine he's got a bit of damage from that incident on pit road. As looking back to the front, battle is on for, not for the lead, but for second. Cameron Brennan on Austin Rogers. As actually an update here, Goran Petrovic in the 76 has retired as well, so mark it down as a double DNF for Revolution Racing. A suspension failure, much like Juan Diaz on the 76 car. And I believe Luke Evans is back circulating, but he is scored as 5 laps down, so it's going to be a what could have been for the Davis Sharp Racing driver, as Brennan is clearing to second. Maybe not quite. Austin Rogers still right there. As we come now, we're closing in 5 to go. Next time by, it's just like the races before. These cars behind the leader keep battling, and that allows the leader to stay ahead, as now Charlie Davenport joins the fight, and Scoriatorin just tries to hit her marks.
Once again, like the past 2 weeks, this is pain and agony to witness. They keep battling At Homestead, it was 2 cars. At Fontana, it was like 4. Here, they can see the leader. The leader's right there. There's 5. We're coming to 4 laps to go. Brennan has the fresher tires by a lap, but I just don't see it happening. Brennan's going to need an absolute miracle of a charge here over the next 4 laps.
And it seems like Brennan has the car under him to do it, but will the people behind him be so nice and let him go? As it looks like the 44 of Austin Rogers is closing in on the 81. The 7 tried to swing inside of the 44, couldn't get there.
And as we begin our 3 laps to go, Scoria has just kept this gap at just about 0.3 of a second. That's all she's needed this whole race since she took command of this lead. And the cars behind have continued to battle for second. Cameron Brennan, I think he keeps missing the bottom. He's not quite got the grip he needs in that 81 car to really get up there and challenge. As with 2 to go, it is all coming up Scoria.
It is absolutely all the 99 car. They're battling for third. This is what Brennan needs to see for a charge, but he's going to need to absolutely send it over the next just under a mile of racing to go. Here we are coming to the white flag here at Pikes Peak.
Scoria leading on the white flag. Charlie Davenport able to make the move to get into third off of 2. Torin's got it. Doesn't look like anyone is going to make a move into 3 and 4 for the final time. And coming off of 4, Scoria plays the strategy perfectly and is going to win at Pikes Peak.
What an effort for Torin as you see Zachary DeLello there faded late. That is unfortunate for them. And there's Renato Moreno across the line to 26, well off the pace. But how about it for Scoria D&Q last week, 2 victory lane this week. That's just motorsport for you. Don't really know ever what you're going to get. And the cards, the strategy played perfectly by the 99 team. They will get to go to victory lane.
Notice as we were pulling in on the cooldown lap, Cameron Brennan, who finished second, finally managed to get by the 99. Just a little bit too late. Shout out Davenport driving from deep in the field to finish third. And Austin Rogers also having a good day. Pulled that strategy card to perfection and was within half a second of the leader in fourth.
And in fifth, Tina Curtis stays right where they started. And Rose Wilson with a pretty good result for that underfunded organization in sixth.
As before we get to our full finishing results and post-race thoughts, we're actually going to get the replay that we promised probably about 30 laps ago at this point. Jamie Fredrickson had an incident that at the very start of the race that did not draw a yellow, so now we'll finally get a chance to take a look at what happened to the 00. This is back on lap 6. Jamie Fredrickson battling at the back, make contact with Aiden Martin, the 00 into the wall, and I think suspension brakes or something. The 00 can't get off it and tags a jut out in the wall. That sends the 00 around and day done. Very surprising that they just not draw yellow. It was at the back of the field, so I guess there's that, but still, that 00 was in a bit of a exposed location, but fortunately no one hit them. So now running through our full finishing results, Scoria Torin, best possible medicine for that D&Q last week. She walks home with a win, the first for Neviki Racing, and actually the first win for Honda, despite being the largest manufacturer. It took them 3 races to get the win. Cameron Brennan comes home a very close second, and Charlie Davenport, Austin Rogers, Tina Curtis, Rose Wilson, Rowdy Green, Zachary Fitzwater Sr., Matthew Hubert, and Xander Valen round the top 10. Zachary DeLello brings home his crippled 13 to 11th. Denis Kuchayashov dropped out of the top 10. He finishes P12, still a very valiant drive. Alexander Rowe ends up 13th, then James Ellison, Logan Cloud, Daniel Voiles, Peter Onchak, Jeffrey Finguy, Ricky LaFleur, and Devin Pice round the top 20. David Richardson comes home 21st, Luna Bennington 22nd. Aiden Martin recovered from a pretty rough first stint to come home 23rd. Then Xander Valen, Flange Wilson dropped all the way to 25th, a rough day after a strong qualifying, and Renato Moreno, the last finisher on the lead lap, P26 or car 26. Luke Evans, I mean, it'll be a what could have been, just an innocent bystander. He ends up 27th, 5 laps down. And then Goran Petrovic and Juan Diaz, both with their suspension failures, end up 28th and 29th, and Jamie Fredrickson, with his wreck, rounds the finishing results. So that has been all here from Pikes Peak. Do we have any closing thoughts here for the Motorola 225?
Yeah, that was actually a pretty exciting race. First race with our brand new high downforce package, and it produced some really exciting things. Honestly, quite liked what I saw out of this track. Liked seeing the tire wear, liked seeing the drivers have to work for it towards the end of those stints, and yeah, I'm looking forward to next time out at Road America.
It was definitely a pretty action-packed race with a lot of drivers. You know, a lot of great storylines. Obviously, Charlie Davenport went up 22 spots. Austin Rogers played the strategy like a fiddle, and Scoria Torin, after DNQing last week, finally gets great redemption.
Yeah, certainly. And, I mean, the storylines are only to continue as we very rapidly approach our crown jewel event, the Speedway 500. That'll be in just 2 races' time, but first, gotta head out to Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin at the beautiful Road America circuit. That'll be the host of our next Rothmans World Series event. So until then, thank you for watching, and we'll see you in Wisconsin.